Today, Gladesville Hospital is largely a repurposed historical site with magnificent trees, sandstone buildings, tumble-down walls and stretches of lawn. But one patch of lawn is different from the others.
This cemetery is a poignant reminder that we must never again allow vulnerable people to be abandoned, devalued and hidden away. We must focus on hope, recovery, support and inclusion.
We started the process to recognise the former residents of Gladesville Hospital in around 2015. And in that process, we wanted to be inclusive. We had people who were former residents, family members, local Aboriginal people, the local community more generally. And that was really important because at Gladesville, people were excluded and hidden. So for us, in that process to recognise people, to recognise their lives, we needed that to be opened up so everyone could contribute to how we planned that.
Oh, the original building was occupied in 1838 and the place closed in 1993. I believe that from the start, when people were dying, they buried them here up on the ridge away from the building, and the cemetery progressed from there. Upstairs was, there were rooms for 6 people of superior class, and one wing of the side was for males, the other was females, and down below there were dungeons.
Over 1,200 people are buried here in the Gladesville Hospital Cemetery, and many have never been formally acknowledged or farewelled until today.
The sorts of people that were in Gladesville Hospital were aged from teenagers to around 90, both men and women. They had often led full lives, all sorts of the occupations that would have been carried out in Sydney of the day and in the country areas. The average patient would have come from around New South Wales, but also as far away as from Victoria or Tasmania or from what is now Queensland, and even New Zealand.
I was sent here from a series of private hospitals and pretty well reached the point of no return. So at that point of no return, you're sent over to Gladesville as the state hospital. There were wards that would be rehabilitation wards. There'd be wards like this that were back wards where you didn't have a rehabilitation anymore and you're being maintained. These were end of the line type wards where there was no hope of integration back into the community.
This was a place where people were confined, kept apart from society, isolated from ordinary human life.
I'm so sorry that when you were already in pain and distress, that you weren't given a safe space to support you, the space that you needed to recover. I'm so sorry for the families, carers and kinship groups who had to watch their loved ones being treated inhumanely without any power to change it. I'm sorry for the families and carers and their kinship groups who were compelled to send their loved ones here as there was no other option or choice for their care and support. We acknowledge the pain and suffering that some people experienced while here, and those people who still suffer that trauma even today. We started the process by closing the road through the cemetery. We then put up a sign so that people understood who was buried here and the history. We then planted this wonderful tree behind me as a commemoration, and then we're going to be holding an event to re-establish and acknowledge this space as a cemetery. Today is about recognising people who lived and died here at Gladesville Hospital. People who were patients at the hospital, along with some staff members. Today is about remembering these people who led hidden lives and were forgotten by many here at Gladesville Hospital and at other institutions around the country.
On the 10th of December 2019, the New South Wales Mental Health Commission held a cemetery memorial to acknowledge and remember former residents of Gladesville Hospital. The Mental Health Commission of New South Wales worked with the New South Wales Ministry of Health, former patients, Aboriginal leaders, historians, and the local community.
Since the times where services were based in large hospitals like Gladesville, mental health services have almost been totally turned around. People aren't living behind walls, they're living in houses, in the community, going to work, getting support for them to live the lives of their choice, to fulfil their dreams and their hopes.
It was really lovely to be at the ceremony today. I think to recognise the former residents of Gladesville Hospital and the people who died here, and also the suffering that they had to go through as patients.
The memorial provided dignity to people. It acknowledged lives of people that have lived and died at Gladesville. It also gave acknowledgement to all of the people across all of the psychiatric institutions across Australia.
It puts a line in the sand between the era when we ignored and discounted and totally discarded human beings because they had mental health issues, and now we're looking hopefully at another era.